This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
I think that's pretty fair for a guy. Once a quarter, 4 times a year, you trim your toenails.
If it needs to be done, it needs to be done. I don't think that you can go by the calendar year.
You probably wish I would, because I probably maybe really do it like twice a year.
And co-host Marnie Winfield.
The people that really are drawn to the 12-step program, one piece of those 12-step groups is because it's people from all different varieties and lengths of time of sobriety.
It is the 4th of March, 2023. My name is Corey Winfield.
My name is Marnie Winfield.
All about that self-care, baby. Once a quarter, you know? Your shoes fit. Which later in that podcast, you asked me if my shoes fits, and I said, yeah. So, not time. I don't know. Toenails are just tough, man. I don't know.
Not that tough.
I was talking to my friend Ron, and he said, yeah. I don't know. It's just the thing. We need a grant so we can do research on men who clip their toenails.
I think you do it just because it's like a thing now. Like you see how long you can go.
No, I've always been this way. It's just when I can't put my socks on or they start. My friend Ron, he actually wears his socks to bed as protection for his wife.
Is it because like it grosses you out or
we just don't think about it. We don't have time.
You need to make time.
Because my belly is so big, I can't see my feet. I don't know.
You just need to make time.
I guess. Self-care is very important, though. That was my thought there. So we got an email about the UFAM rally. Mm-hmm. It's coming up on the 18th of May. We're going to be there. I was talking about on the last podcast. Actually, the last podcast I did, I had Scott Schulten on. Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of helping them start a podcast. Reservation Conversation is the name of their podcast. So I'm really excited about it. And I think they're going to do some really big things for the community there. And I was telling him about the UFAM rally, and he's all excited. And it's like, man, we need to show up, and we don't really need an invite because it's a public space. I mean, we can show up whenever we want, as far as having our name. And I don't think we got our name in anything last year.
No, we
I don't know. So that to me, whatever, man. Yeah, but we can just show up and do. You don't have to be invited. You can just show up, man. And that's what we're going to do. But we were kind of invited. But anyway, and then I started talking about how last year I wanted to show up like rock stars and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I was talking about my friend Jason Vaughter, who owns the limo company there in Lansing. Mm-hmm. And he heard me talking about it, and he was like, dude, for sure, we're going to make it happen this year. So I just want to prepare you that I need a fur coat. I want to dress do you know who the Macho Man is?
No.
Oh, yeah. Snap into a Slim Jim.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to look like that, except without the muscles. A mixture of Macho Man Randy Savage and King Kong Bundy. You don't know who that is either, do you?
I don't.
Okay. That's what I want to look like. And then we'll do our wireless mics. We'll start broadcasting the minute we jump out of the limo.
We have to get there an hour before it starts. So nobody will even be there yet.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to show up honey, rock star. Rock stars don't get there 4 hours. No, I'll do Axl Rose, and I'll come out 8 hours after I'll come out after everybody leaves. And we'll show up in the limo, and I'll be like, yeah, I want to rock. And then we'll just jump out, and everybody will be gone.
I'm glad you have this vision, though.
I know. It's going to be so awesome. And Jason's going to make it happen, too. So we really appreciate that. And yeah, we'll see. But I was telling Scott, yeah, for sure. We can have a whole podcast row. And then, Adam Brothers, he's mad at me. Did I tell you about that?
No.
Yeah, he was upset.
Why?
Well, I bust Adam's balls all the time, right? Mm-hmm. It's just something that I'm like, hey, Adam, I'll bust your balls. And, I told him, that I'll kind of critique him. I'll help him a little bit, and I don't know. I said a little something on the podcast with Scott, and it had really kind of nothing to do with Adam, but just I was driving, I was listening to this episode, and like I just heard this like soprano recorder thing playing, and I was just like, whoa. Like, first of all, I thought I'd cut out, so I turned up the volume, and it was just super loud, and I was like, whoa. You know, so I said, you got to warn people before you do that. And I guess, his co-host Sean, I guess it hurt her feelings. And I wasn't saying that, hey, don't do that, it's bad. I was just saying you got to warn somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And he took offense to it. Or I guess she took offense to it. So then he got, I guess, mad. I don't know if that's a thing. And I was like, oh my gosh, man, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Like I wasn't trying to hurt your feelings. And again, I'm used to just dealing with Adam and busting his balls. And I don't say things to be mean to him. I'm not trying to embarrass him or make him look stupid or anything like that. But he took some kind of offense to it, and understandably, that's his girlfriend, his wifey, whatever you want to call her. And I would be upset too. If somebody's like, hey, Marnie's always telling you clip your toenails on the podcast. That's stupid. I'm like, I know, bro. But no, I see where he's coming from. And, I told him, sorry, it was not intentional. I wasn't like trying to hurt their feelings. But I listened back to the podcast and I was like, well, I can't change how anybody feels. Like they feel how they feel. And I listened back to it, and I didn't think it was that bad. I wasn't like, man, they suck. They're so stupid. They're dumb. I didn't say any of that. And I ended up giving them props throughout the podcast. So I just thought, okay, somebody just kind of took that the wrong way. And you never know what kind of day somebody's having. So he didn't respond back to me. And it is what it is, like I can't.
I think when people put a lot of effort into something, it does no matter what. Even if there's truth to it or if it's misunderstood, that sometimes it can, feelers get hurt and stuff. And so, I didn't personally hear it, but in their defense, sometimes you don't censor yourself very well.
No, I don't. And when I was talking with Scott too, we were kind of talking like, I think maybe off the air, and he was saying that he wanted that kind of critique. He's like, if I'm doing something that just doesn't sound right, let me know. And I told him I will, because he wants that. And, I don't know if the other ones want that. And hey, man, maybe there's somebody out there like that's their thing and that's what they love. And if that's what they love, who cares what I think? Do what feels good for you. Do what feels right for you. Can
I tell you something?
Yeah.
Sometimes you say stuff that makes me upset.
I know.
Like a lot. Not a lot all the time, but
I know.
Where I'm just like, why would you put that out there? I can't think of anything else top of my head right now.
Toenails.
But no. Others. We have years. We have years. Oh God, yes. You put stuff out there all the time that's like, what? What are you thinking? But you know what? It is what it is, and your heart's in the right place.
Yeah, so. For the most part.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that in that case, and again, I can't change how they feel or what they feel. That's on them, and all I can do is say, hey, man, sorry, I won't talk about your podcast anymore. I'm sorry. There you go. That's all I can do.
Are you sorry?
My intentions weren't to make anybody cry or make anybody mad or anything.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good then. And I don't think that you would. I don't think that that's where you were going.
No, it really wasn't.
I can't speak to it either because I didn't
hear it, and you're like, oh, who knows what Corey said?
Yeah,
I'm only hearing this side.
I'm not going to defend you if I don't even know what was said or how it was said. I ain't doing that. I love you and everything, babe, but
a long time ago to not overreact and delete something because then it's gone. So then if I was like, you can go back and listen to it, but if I were to delete it, then. Well, that's what he said, and that's what happened, and I'm like, no, I can go back and listen to it, and that was the one time, well, I'm not going to get into that one time that I deleted it, but I wish I wouldn't have. Yeah, so, but the UFAM rally is going to be fun, and if Adam's my friend, again, or whatever, he's more than welcome, him and Sean.
I hope that they would come, yeah.
They should.
I think they do an amazing job.
I think so, too. Like I said, I give them props. I'm so proud of them for what they do. And the way Adam's interviewing skills are, every episode gets better, man. I love it.
And the talent that those two have. Mm-hmm. I mean, I could not hold a candle to anything that they do.
Yeah, they're great musicians. So
absolutely.
That's real talk. But UFAM rally will be fun. We're going to be so busy. I went to Detroit. We met with the Lions, I guess. Well, I'm not going to say about another organization, but they got some big news coming up. And I thought we could maybe do something with it too, but maybe we'll just do what we can. Mm-hmm. You know, because with the Tigers, like the thing, okay, you spend X amount of dollars, and since we're nonprofits, they cut us a real sweet deal. We get 100 tickets to the game, right? Whatever game we want. And then we get a suite. Maybe I should talk to Jason Vaughter about this and get the limo company involved because that's something that he might be interested in. But it was one of those things where we don't need like our name on the Tigers billboard thing going, hey, 217 recovers here for like 2 seconds. We don't really need space in the lobby. Mm-mm. Hey, what do you do? Well, we have a recovery community center that, you know, we're a recovery community organization. We're up in Traverse City, but we have a table here. And I know people from all over Michigan travel there. And I'm not saying it's not good publicity. I mean, I think the Tigers are doing great things. And just to give us a chance to do that, it's pretty sweet. But I just don't see how that would benefit us.
Right.
Any publicity is good publicity, I guess. But I don't know. So that's why I was thinking about teaming up with a different organization or something.
The thing is about what we do is we want 217 to be a name that we know, that we want to be there for the people that need us when they need us. It's not about having them know our name or anything. If it's not about anybody knowing our name, the only reason we want people to know our name is so if there's a reason why they might need our resources or our services, that they know who to get a hold of. But a lot of the ways that why we do what we do for the transportation stuff is already in place. It's just for them to know our name, to trust our name.
Right.
It has nothing to do with about needing more of, we don't want to be needed is the thing. In a perfect world, in a perfect world, like, you know, we wouldn't, but that's never, ever going to happen, you know, to get people to treatment. But people are always going to need treatment and people are going to need to get to treatment. So that's the reality of it all.
And our role is more as like the recovery community organization is to show people in early recovery that you can have fun in early recovery.
Oh, absolutely.
And we can go to a Tigers game. We went to the Lions game. We had a blast. Mm-hmm.
Dropping things.
I'm dropping things. I'm so excited to talk about the Lions too. But no, the Tigers though, I mean, that's what we could do. We could use that to take people from here to a Tigers game and show them, hey, you can go to a baseball game. It's supposed to be quicker this year. I'm not sure how I feel about baseball's rules, but you can go there. You can experience a baseball game and not get drunk, not have to be high, not to be on anything. You know, you could just go there as you, be present for it, take in the game and go home. Mm-hmm. And have fun. Mm-hmm. Like that's the part that we would play in that. But yeah, as far as the publicity down there, like again, and I understand people come from all over the state and, but people could see you. Oh, okay. That's cool. But we got to take care of the people here.
For sure.
You know, but there's other places that would benefit from that because there are people on that side of the state that don't even know that places up here exist, that you go to treatment up here.
Yeah.
And for me, I had to get out of Southwest Michigan to come to treatment in a place that I didn't live. And then I did sober living in a place I didn't live. It was a fresh start for me. Mm-hmm. I could go into a store. No one knew who I was. No one was going to come ask me, hey, you want to come hang out? Want to go to the bar? What happened at the radio station? Man, you know, none of that stuff I had to talk about. I could just walk into a store and it was great. And it was such a refreshing feeling. And it was a good place for me to start over. I wasn't moving to Florida to run from my problems. Wasn't, hey, I'll go here, I'll go there. No, I just had to get a change of scenery and figure out my purpose. Mm-hmm. So it'd be nice for those people, you know, maybe come up here. So for some organizations, that would be perfect for. But for us to need that kind of stuff, not so much.
Yeah.
I mean, we take it if we had to. Like if I hit my man Jason up, which I can't believe I didn't even think about him. Well, I do think about him a lot. not like that, but you know what I'm saying. Like he wanted me to, because he wants to get more involved in the recovery community. Jason's coming, I think he's coming up on 8 years. And like I told him, well, you can buy some bikes, which you know, people because he lives in the Lansing area. And I'm sure there are some recovery homes and stuff those people will love bikes. You know, a lot of people in the sober living homes don't have a license.
Yeah.
Kind of happens sometimes. Mm-hmm. Like, luckily I lost mine and then I was in treatment. So, because you lose your license for 30 days if you get DUI, or DWI, which of course you can get for smoking pot too. So, just throwing that out there. Then we're going to the Recovery Community Organization conference meeting in Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
That's coming up. And then it's kind of weird that I'm excited about this. We're going to a gambler. What is it? You know more about it than I do.
It's a symposium on the addiction of gambling.
What's that word mean?
Symposium. It's like a conference, but it's a training on learning about. Some of it is our workshops, I guess is what you want to call it.
Okay.
On one of them is like hearing from an individual who speaks to the addiction of gambling. And then there is a workshop on how it affects the family. And then there is some sort of workshop on how you can organize Gamblers Anonymous meeting, which is what I'm kind of down for.
Yeah, we're going to definitely do.
We want to bring that here.
No, we don't want to. We're going to.
We're going to bring that here to Traverse City because there is not one in place. And there are resources that can be sent to you when you call like 1-800 numbers. But in terms of having an active GA meeting in place, I don't know what that looks like. So I can't say that I can identify as being an individual with a gambling addiction, but having it, I know what addiction is like, you know, and so I definitely want to kind of be able to have that in place here in Traverse City. We are literally a town that has 3 casinos within an hour. You know who pointed this out to me was my supervisor at my internship. Mm-hmm. She's like, you know that there's like 3 huge casinos within like an hour and a half of where we live. And I think there's 4 within like 3 hours of where we live. And then if you count going up north to like, you know, the Sioux or whatever, there's like 5 or 6, Mount Pleasant.
It all becomes a part of it too. I know somebody a couple of people with a gambling addiction, and one of them, it becomes like a fun trip. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like when we would go get our liquor, you know, like I would mix it up so they wouldn't know I was an alcoholic. So I'd go to this store and I'd go to that store and I'd go to this. And it's like, all right, when you get in the car after you leave work, it's like, all right, man, like I'm on the way. It's this kind of the same thing for them. And then at least for me, when I was in the liquor store and I heard that receipt print and it was like, yeah, buddy. And that dopamine was starting to like ramp up. It's the same thing for them. You know, they hear the ding, 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 ding when they walk in and they're like, oh yeah, what's up? Same thing. And the stigma is just as bad as someone who uses drugs to cope. And a lot of people don't realize that. But they just think, well, just don't gamble. Okay.
Right. And the thing is, too, I've thought about it this way, too, is people are like, well, I'm just going to drink. I'm just going to drink a little bit. Yeah. I'm just going to get a buzz. Just like, I'm just going to go in there with $10. All I'm going to do is gamble. Slots. Yeah. I'm just going to play the penny slots, you know, and then maybe even this, maybe you win a little bit. Maybe if you get it, and then it's like, hey, you know, I went out this weekend and, you know, I tied one on, but like nothing bad happened. You know, I didn't drink on Sunday and I ended up getting back to work on Monday and everything was all good. So you try it again the next weekend.
Well, yeah, because it worked the last time.
Because it worked the last time. So, I mean, there's so many correlations between gambling and then substance use.
And I say this a lot, that, you know, alcohol was my number one. That was my brain telling me I need the alcohol. So I didn't really have extra money to spend on anything else. But if I would have, but I'd been to the casino before, and if I would have won $10,000, who knows?
Yeah.
It's just like when I talk about heroin or meth or other drugs, I was just an opportunity away from going down that road.
Yeah.
You know, addiction's addiction. And if you need to get there and you need to, you know, feel better and, hey, here's what's going to happen. And the brain works the same way towards that.
Yeah. And they know how to reel people in too, man. They'll be like, oh, we'll give you $250 to come gamble. You know how fast you can lose $250 in a casino? I mean,
pretty quick.
Like in a minute. Shoot, you could lose it, you know, probably 10 feet away from the door. You can lose it in 10 minutes if you wanted to.
That's why I'm pretty excited to go to that.
Yeah. So
and to start that here.
Yeah. And that's a Novi.
I attempted to once, and I went to a meeting. I think it was like in Kalamazoo or something. And I drove there, and when I showed up, there was one other person, and he said, doesn't really get many people. And he was kind of reluctant because I didn't identify as a person with a gambling addiction. So he was kind of reluctant to even let me in, you know, or talk to me, but he did. And he talked about, you know, his story, and he used to have this great job, you know, a marriage, and he lost it all, lost the house. And the thought of suicide was on his mind 24/7. And he didn't know how to reach out for help. You know, he didn't know how to stop it. And that's a problem, you know, and if those are people that are out there and they're hiding, you know, and not that they're hiding, but you know what I'm saying? They're not like, hey, I need help, because that's still not acceptable. Like, just don't go to the casino then, man. Go there and ban yourself. Okay.
It's
you can unban yourself just as easy as you ban yourself. So,
and it's way with how gambling is now and the ways you can do it. You don't have to leave. You could have like, let's say you worked from your home. Let's say you were like a tech person or something, or you did customer service from an office in your home, and you never had to leave your house. And so that's how you got paid. You literally could lose all your money without even lose your paycheck without ever leaving your home.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do that with like shopping and stuff, which is an addiction as well. I mean, there's all kinds of addictions.
I know a few people who...
But sports betting, bet, that kind of stuff or whatever. Oh my gosh.
Few people that I know were in treatment for alcohol and other drugs and got out. Okay, they weren't drinking anymore, but they switched it. They substituted it. You know, they weren't smoking weed, or they didn't go from alcohol to heroin or meth or anything. They went to gambling. Because it's like we talked about, it's so similar. You know, so it's something that needs to be addressed. And when you sent that and I heard about it, and I was like, yes, like sign us up for sure, because we need to be there and we need to get the knowledge. And I think we're going to learn a lot. Yeah.
Who knows? I might actually have a problem. I don't know. I mean, I've lost some money back in the day.
You bought a scratch off a couple weeks ago, I thought.
I did. I bought a $20 scratch off because it was kind of momentous. Not momentous. Anyway, I had kind of had a reason behind it.
I got my toenails done.
I know you could have, but I didn't win.
It's not funny, though.
Oh, it's not funny. It's not funny.
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah.
If you need help, I'm here for you. I'm your husband. I'm here for the long haul.
I know.
No, but it's. I mean, I'm kind of joking, but I'm not joking, because it is a very serious issue.
No, I've seen it firsthand. You know, I've seen shoe boxes full of $20 scratch off tickets. Wow. You know, like that. Not that I've had, but everybody thinks it's that next one. It's that next one.
Yeah.
Like you said, I think it's also too the people that have had a taste of the winnings that think that that's going to happen again. Yeah. And then it doesn't work that way.
Yeah. If I would have hit it big, I'm telling you, it would have been a whole different story.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lord.
I think it's something, and I think I saw this on a show, so I don't know how much truth there is to it, but that, that Las Vegas has the highest suicide rate. That's that people take their lives from, because they go there as like a Hail Mary to like win it all back. And, they don't. The house always wins or whatever.
Yeah, that is true. And if they were always losing, they wouldn't be in business.
Yeah. And I think that's the suicide rate, like in like square miles, that is the highest area. And I would believe it for sure.
According to, I can't read the website because it's not pulling up on my phone all the way. It's pretty high though in Nevada, but the number one state. Oh, what are these stats? Hold on, before I start reading numbers, I want to figure out what these stats are and what they mean. Number of suicides per 100,000 people.
Yeah.
The number one state, I don't think you would guess.
State?
Yes. The top 3 states you would never live in.
Maine.
No.
I'm thinking like where I say I'll never want to live.
Okay, number 1 is Wyoming.
Really?
Mm-hmm. 29.3 people out of 100,000. Number 2 is a place you would never want to take a cruise to.
Florida?
Oh my God.
What?
Alaska.
Oh, why would you say that?
Because I've been like, hey, you were like, let's go on a cruise. And I was like, all right, Alaska. And you're like, no, never do I ever want to go on a cruise in Alaska. It's cold.
So this whole question started with me. What is the number one suicide city in the U.S.?
Mm-hmm.
Las Vegas.
Okay.
So I was right.
Well, I'm doing states here.
Oh, you're doing states.
We can do cities. You have a list of them because I would love to play. Number 3 is Montana. Those are 3 states you would never live in. Anyway. Okay. Is it my turn to play?
Yes.
Okay. Number 1, I'm going to say Vegas.
Yes.
Number 2, Los Angeles.
Oh, it's loading.
Oh. Number 3, Seattle.
Hold on.
Number 4, Portland, Oregon.
You know them all.
No, I'm just guessing.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
It goes from 15 to 1, so I don't know why they do that, but okay. All right. So number 1 was correct.
Yes.
Las Vegas.
Yes.
Number 2, what?
Los Angeles?
No.
Oh. I don't remember what other ones I said. Seattle. I said Seattle. And then Portland, Oregon.
2 is Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Oh, man. There's so much crime there.
I know. 3 is Tucson, Arizona.
Oh.
4 is Sacramento, California.
It's hot there.
Albuquerque, New Mexico. Number 5. 6 is Mesa, Arizona.
Dang, that's where my dad just moved from. I'm glad he moved back to Michigan.
7 is Miami, Florida.
Huh.
8 is Denver, Colorado. That's why, because I saw it popped up on my thing. Jacksonville, Florida is number 9.
Dang. No Seattle?
Wichita, Kansas is 10.
There's a lot of tornadoes there.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania is 11.
There's a lot of hills in Pittsburgh.
12 is Portland, Oregon.
All right. See, there we go. Not that I'm excited about that. I'm just...
13 is Fresno, California. 14 is Phoenix, Arizona.
A lot of these places are hot.
15 is Tulsa, Oklahoma.
It's hot.
So that was the 15 most suicidal cities in America.
See, like those cities weren't in the states that I mentioned as being the most. So I think a lot of rural places have the problem. So, but yeah, back to the gambling thing. It does lead to it. And you're right. Las Vegas was the number 1 city. Mm-hmm. And it probably has a lot to do with that.
Yeah.
So it is a problem and it's serious. So we're going to go learn about it. And like we said 18 times in this podcast, we're going to start meetings at our recovery center, which we're thinking April is when we'll open the doors. We're still trying to put the office together. It's very exciting. I met with a gentleman yesterday. His name's Dave, and very intelligent man who I think I'm going to learn a lot from.
I think for sure, yeah. He sounded knowledgeable.
Yeah, and he was like, hey, I got all this. Here's my resume. And I'm like, okay, can you come by and talk to me, please? Because I would love to figure out how I can have you volunteer and work with us and for us. Not for us, but like assist, because he's retired and he just wants to give back. And he kind of found himself in a role and he's like, okay, this is cool, but this isn't really what I want. This isn't what I have 50 years of experience in this field, I was like, what, Jesus? Thank you, Lord. Like, what did you, like, everything happens for a reason. And I was just blown away.
Yeah.
That the opportunity just presented itself like that. So very excited. Community center, and, big shout out to Bill Marsh. Bill Marsh is Bill Marsh has a lot of things here in Traverse City. And everybody that I know that works for Bill Marsh, because he has Breaking Alignment Plus, or that is owned by Bill Marsh. And there's a detail shop, and they're like, hey, we'll detail your cars. And then we just leased a vehicle from Bill Marsh, GMC Buick, or Buick GMC. Can't remember which one's first. But yeah. And the guy that worked with us, Matthew, was just great to work with. And we had some crazy stuff just kind of happen at the last minute where it was like, oh my gosh, like this is crazy. Like, not crazy good, but crazy like, oh no. And I don't know, it all worked out how it was supposed to, even down to the color of the vehicle. And, big props to them. And the whole Bill Marsh crew, they support us. They support people in recovery, which is a big thing for me. And I was sad because Mike, who's was the manager at Breaking Alignment Plus, he retired. So I guess I shouldn't be sad. I should be saying congratulations, Mike.
Yeah, he's like, don't be sad, man.
No, he's golfing and doing whatever people that retire do.
Yeah, good for him.
He didn't seem like he's old enough to retire.
Well,
But I went there, I was like, where's Mike? They're like, oh, he retired. I was like, no, what? They're like, no, that's a good thing, man. And I was like, urgh.
Did you meet the new manager?
I did.
That's good.
Yeah, but yeah, so congratulations to Mike, and then thanks again to Bill Marsh and all that they do for the recovery community in Traverse City.
Yeah.
Support that. And I don't know if we ever gave Walmart props. I think we might have. But they gave us some stuff like back in, was it November?
Oh, yeah, we did.
Okay.
Yeah, we gave him shout outs.
So I was riding with Justin the other day, and he was like, oh, yeah, well, Walmart. I'm like, yeah, they do. I was like, Walmart supports us in recovery. I was like, they do that big time. He's like, oh, I thought it was just Meijer. I'm like, Meijer has, but no, Walmart, they've been good to us.
Yeah.
So give them props too.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, that's enough props, and that's probably enough Saturday podcast. We're not going to play the intimacy game because we're going to get intimate. No, just kidding.
Oh my God. See, this is an exact example.
What?
Perfect example.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Just kidding.
Yeah, we'll talk to you soon. And I'm going to do a podcast from the recovery center soon as well, too.
All right. Nice.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good week.
Thanks for listening to the 217 Recovery Podcast. Win a bunch of free shit from 217 Recovery. Go to the app or the website, 217recovery.com.